Welcome to Cherry Blossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. You won't need any special equipment for this class. Just make sure your clothing is loose and you feel comfortable. And for those of you who are not able to stand or prefer to sit on a couch or a chair, join us in the arm movements and sometimes the leg and flexing of the ankles and knees. You can kind of modify the positions or movements. Just remember to breathe. Breathe deeply. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. So begin to turn inward, focusing on your breath, centering yourself, and following the air as it moves up the nostrils, down the throat, and envision the air filling your lungs and also your abdomen. The deep breathing, the abdominal breathing in yoga helps introduce more oxygen to the body, especially to the brain. It helps calm you down, allows you to concentrate and focus so that your mind is not bouncing all over the place. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out either through the nose or through the mouth. I like to make a ha sound in the back of my throat when I exhale. That helps reduce the amount of air leaving my body and lengthens the exhalation. Also, contracting the belly muscles helps to push the air out of the body and extend the out breath. Let's do some warm-ups for the feet and ankles, just rocking forward and back on your feet. And if you're seated, you could just flex your feet up and down. And then I'm going to stand with the feet about hip distance apart and dipping down and inhale up. And pressing down through the feet, lengthening through the spine, reaching up through the crown of the head, and exhaling, releasing the air. Try to keep your shoulders above your hips and your gaze straight ahead, inhaling and exhaling. So you may feel this in the muscles in your shins, your thighs. Now inhale, bring the arms up to shoulder height, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And this time you can bring the arms up over your shoulders and exhale, lower all the way down. So we begin warming up the shoulder muscles. You can bring the arms down to shoulder height. And just bring one arm up with the in-breath and out. In, out, both arms, down to shoulder height, inhale, lower your seat a little more, breathe in place, and then exhale, straightening the legs and bringing the arms down alongside. And rotate the right shoulder back. Try to scrunch your shoulder up under your ear. And then the other side. Then alternate shoulders coming forward. I do this in almost every class, simply to warm up the neck and shoulders. A lot of us hold tension right there, so let's get those muscles warmed up and the joints a bit lubricated. And then big movement, reaching back as much as you're reaching forward, like a windmill or propellers on a plane. And arms alongside of you. Separate the feet about 2 to 3 feet apart with the toes turned outward slightly. We'll do some more warm-ups for the knees and ankles. So I'm moving from side to side, just bringing the knee above the ankle. You don't want to go any farther than the big toe. So notice how your knees are feeling, or do you hear little pops or cricks or noises? If there's any pain, be careful about doing this. And back to center. You can separate the feet a little bit more if you wish, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and turn to one leg, watching the hands travel down. You may not come down this far, maybe only halfway, that's fine. Keep your chin tucked in and try to avoid shifting the weight to the foot where your hands are. You want to keep it center as much as possible. And as you're exhaling into the posture, maybe you'll sink down a little bit more. Now pressing down through the feet, walk your hands up your leg, turn to center, level your chin, and breathe. And then turn to the other leg. Again, come down maybe about part way or most of the way. Lift the sit bones, adjust so that your hips are centered between the 2 feet. And see if you can slide down a little bit more. Then walk your hands up your leg. I'm just touching the leg. I'm not putting any pressure there. And let's come back down to this side, maybe to the ankle. And holding on with one hand, follow the other hand as it goes up, pulling the shoulder back. Try to get the look up at the index finger. Now breathe in. And let the air out slowly. Follow the hand down to the ankle and then sink. And you may feel that you're coming down a bit more. Your upper body is closer to the leg now. Then walk the hands to center. Take a hold of the other ankle. And with the hand on top, breathing in, watch the hand come up. And pull that shoulder back and lift up and reach. Take your breath in and watch the hand come down. Remember, you're doing this with awareness and with control. And then bring the hands right in front of your shoulders, separating the feet a little bit more. And if you have high blood pressure, please don't do this. Hold on to the ankles, tuck your chin in. Lift the sit bones for a brain drain. Then bring the hands parallel to each other in front of the shoulders, inner elbows turned inward. Lift up, a little bit, heel toe back to Tadasana, feet hip distance apart. Well, we're folded, so this is Uttanasana, and then we're going to walk the hands up the legs, tuck the pelvis under, coming into Tadasana, standing pose, the mountain pose, and pause and breathe. So let's try some simple warrior poses, Virabhadrasana. We're going to separate the feet. If you are aware of this posture and you've done it before, you can separate your feet as much as you like. Otherwise, maybe 3 to 4 feet. I'm going to turn, this is my right foot, turn it out to point toward the end of my mat. Bring the knee directly above the ankle. Now see how my body's turned? I want to square my body to the front of my mat and keep the knee above the ankle. Arms come out at shoulder height. And then turn to look at your right arm. And then slowly turn your head to center. Continue around to the other side. This is my left arm. I'm looking at the space just above my hand. And then I turn my face to center. And this is another version. It's a side angle pose. I'm placing my wrist very lightly on the thigh. And then my left arm is over the ear. I'm going to pull the shoulder back. Reach the energy just beyond your fingertips. Keep the left hip back. Now coming up, press down, lifting up from the left shoulder. Turn the right foot forward so the feet are parallel and lower the arms. And now for the other side. So you would turn your foot so it's pointed toward the end of the mat, the knee above the ankle. Square your hips and shoulders to the front of your mat and bring the arms out at shoulder height. First looking out over the hand above the bent knee. And then inhaling to center, exhaling as you turn to look out over the other hand. And then face center, lower the arm above the bent leg. I'm just touching, barely touching, and my right arm is over the ear, side angle pose. Pull the hip and the shoulder back. Gaze is straight ahead. And lifting from the upper shoulder, come back into star and pause and breathe. Now, if you'd like to try it with the feet farther apart, you can, or closer together, whatever seems to work for you. And if you're seated, please try to follow along with the arms and the breathing, and notice the head turning and so forth. So we're going to turn this is my right foot out at 90 degrees, and I bring the knee above the ankle, and here I'm going to actually heel toe outward a little bit more. Square my body to the front of the mat, arms up. Look out over the arm above the bent knee. Then inhale, turn to center, and exhale, continuing around to the other arm. Face center, lower the arm down, come into side angle pose, pull that hip and shoulder back. And inhaling, straighten the leg, both feet turn forward and the arm floats down. And you may want to reposition your feet before we do the other side. This is my left foot pointing toward the end of the mat. I'm going to heel toe outward with the right foot. Try to bring the knee above the ankle. Square the body to the front of my mat and relax the shoulders as the arms come up. Look out over the bent leg, the hand above the bent leg. And turn to center, continue to the other side. Then facing center, come into side angle pose. Now lifting from the upper shoulder and pushing away, turn both feet forward, the arm floats down, and either step your feet back together or heel toe back to center. Standing tall in Tadasana, hands at the heart in prayer position. Scan your body, notice the movement of energy, or perhaps you feel greater circulation, a little bit of warmth throughout your body. Perhaps your heart rate has gone up or slowed down. We're going to pause for just a moment, then come down to the floor and continue with Cherry Blossom Yoga.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Cherry Blossom Yoga. Come join me on the floor if you're able. We're going to do some spinal twists. And with the use of the legs, lifting the legs and turning from side to side, it helps tone the abdominal organs, and it gives a little twist to the spine, which helps get rid of little waste products all around and refreshes the fluids around the spinal cords. And there's a little bit of a massage for the abdominal organs, so everything is kind of massaged and stimulated, and it helps with the whole digestive process. So there's a lot of benefits, and it tones your tummy muscles. So coming down onto the floor, on your back, and arms out. They don't have to be straight out, maybe at about a 45-degree angle. And place each foot on the outside edge of your mat. Now on your next breath, arch your back, tuck the shoulder blades in toward the spine. That will flatten the blades and open your chest. So now try to keep the feet right on the edges of your mat. And we begin. Breathe in and out, lowering both legs down to the left. Now your knee may or may not touch at this point because we're still warming up these muscles. Then inhale back to center, focus at the navel, and then exhale, lowering down to the other side. Inhale center, and exhale lower. Now if you're using your arms to press the legs up, you're not going to receive the benefit from thinking from your navel and moving the legs. Going at your own pace, inhaling center, exhaling as you lower. And we'll complete the movement. Now, my face is looking up. You could also turn your head in the direction opposite of your legs. That increases the spinal twist. So now bring the ankles together and the knees together as if there was rope tied around your knees and ankles. So they're going to stay stuck together. Breathe in. Now breathe out, roll onto the left hip and lower both legs down to the left. Now I'm getting a nice stretch in the inside upper arm into the armpit. And if I bring my arms out a little bit straighter, it increases the stretch. Now with your attention at the navel, inhale back to center, rolling onto your back, crossing center line, exhale, lower both legs down to the right. Inhale center and exhale down to the left. Inhaling center, exhaling down. And back to center. Now another version of this is I'm going to press my feet into the floor, turn the tailbone up and bring the legs up like this. And then bring the feet up, so looking at the V formed by my knees, I can see my toes. I'm going to roll onto the left hip and balance. This is not as much a spinal twist as it is a tummy toner. And back to center. You really have to keep the attention at the lower abdomen. And rolling onto the right hip and holding, avoiding using the arms, and back to center. Side to side. And then come down, lower the feet, place them on the floor, press the feet into the mat so you can flatten your waist to the floor, point the tailbone up, and then release, and the natural arch returns to your spine. So another spinal twist would be the right leg is straight, the toes of the left foot tucked underneath, and cross your right arm over, take a hold of the left leg, and push off, rolling on to your right side. I'm going to bring the left arm over the head, so we're back to a spinal twist. And then release. Of course, at home when you practice, you can stay in the twist as long as you like. And then the toes of the right foot under the left knee. Left arm crosses over, takes a hold. See how I'm pushing off with my toes? I'm going to roll on to the left hip. Bring the right knee as close to the floor as I can. And lift up the right arm. And let's come back to center. In Shavasana, the corpse pose. And turn the palms up. Hands a few inches away from your body. If your lower back is not comfortable, you can place your feet on the floor. And follow your breath into your body. Visualize it spreading throughout your body, rejuvenating, renewing, nourishing every cell in your body. Then bring your feet up slightly to the side and push off, rolling onto your side. And rest your head on your arm. Bend the knees, bring them in close. Now, using your top hand, press into the floor or the mat. Walk your hands back. Allow your head to hang down. As you spiral to the front, come into a seated position. Remember, you can create this feeling of peacefulness and relaxation anytime you wish, particularly through the breath, focusing on the deep abdominal breath, and letting your mind take a little vacation. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful, and you can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, and into your life. Namaste.